Hey guys, I'm Mark from Spot and welcome to week 11 of the Premier League review. If you want to know this series, what we do is we take a look at the past set Premier League results, we take a look at the Premier League table, and we finish off by looking at the Premier League top goal scorers. So here is the past set of Premier League results. These games were played on Saturday the 4th and Sunday the 5th of November 2017. Also next to the games are the times in this video, so if you want to hear about a specific game, just go to the time next to the match and you'll skip out all the crap. But without further ado, let's get into our first match. We start with Everton versus Watford. It was 0-0 at the end of the first half, with Watford having the best chance to take the lead, but Everton held on. But they wouldn't hold on for much longer, as only 2 minutes into the second half, Watford took the lead through Richarlison. It was too easy for Watford as Andrew Aguirre slipped the ball through to the Brazilian, and he took it round John and Pickford before finishing at the near post. And Watford doubled their lead 20 minutes later. Again, another easy goal for Watford as it came from a corner that Jose Holebas put into the box, and Christian Cabasele ran in front of Phil Jagielka and powered his header home. But only 2 minutes later, Everton got away back into the game when they got one back through Umar Niasse. It was a sloppy goal for Watford to concede, as neither Jose Holebas or the Watford keeper deal with a through ball, and that gives Umar Niasse a one-on-one chance with Christian Cabasele. Cabasele does make a challenge, but luckily for Everton, the ball ricochets off of Niasse and into the back of the net. And Everton levelled the game up in the 72nd minute through youngster Dominic Calvert-Lewin. This one came from a corner as well, as Leighton Baines put the ball into the box. Dominic Calvert-Lewin rose higher than his man and nodded home. And going into the 90th minute, to everyone's surprise, the fourth official indicated that there was 12 minutes, yes, 12 minutes of added time, so there was plenty of time for some late twists. And only 1 minute into those 12, we got a late twist as Everton were awarded a very soft penalty. It came when Jose Holebas slipped in his own box and accidentally brought down Aaron Lennon, and the ref gave a penalty for that, which is daft. He fell over and accidentally tripped somebody up as he was falling over. There was literally nothing he could do about it. Leighton Baines stepped up to take it, and he dispatched his penalty to give Everton the lead for the first time in this match. But one final twist in this game came in the 101st minute, when Watford got the chance to take a point from this game, as they were given a penalty. It came when John and Pickford brought down Richarlison in the box, the ref pointing to the spot. Tom cleverly stepped up to take it against his former club, but he scuffed the spot kick and he put it well wide. And as the game ended, if I'm honest, I think Watford were incredibly unlucky this match. The penalty that Everton got, in my opinion, wasn't a penalty, and it was just so soft, and Watford definitely deserved something from this game. As for Everton though, they finally have a win, which is the first time they've won since September, but Watford definitely deserved something from this game, but Tom Cleverley's horrible penalty has cost them. And we move on to West Ham versus Liverpool. Liverpool took the lead in the 21st minute when Mo Salah got his 11th goal in all competitions this season. It actually came from West Ham corner, which Liverpool got rid of it, and it led to Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah being 2-on-1 with Winston Reid, and obviously he had no chance when Sadio Mane dragged Reid in before sliding the ball through to Mo Salah, who took a touch and slotted it past Joe Hart. And 3 minutes later, Liverpool doubled their lead, and yet again it came from a corner, but this one was actually a Liverpool one. The corner was swung in by Mo Salah. It came off of West Ham midfielder Mark Noble, who nearly put it into his own net, but Joe Hart managed to save that, but he could only parry it into the path of Joe Matip, and the defender finished from close range. But West Ham got away back into this game when they made it 2-1 10 minutes into the second half. It started with Andrew Ayew, who looped the ball towards the back post. Manuel Lanzini was there. He shrugged off the challenge from Joe Gomez before poking the ball past Simon Mignolet. But literally 30 seconds later, Liverpool restored their 2-goal lead when Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain got his first Premier League goal for Liverpool and his first Premier League start for Liverpool. Like I said, it came from kick-off, so the West Ham defenders just didn't do anything, as Firmino gave it to Oxlade-Chamberlain. Chamberlain ran through them. His first shot is saved by Hart, but again, he can only parry it back out to the Ox, who smashed it past him at the near post. And Liverpool killed the game off in the 75th when Mo Salah got his second and Liverpool's fourth. It started when West Ham gave the ball away and they don't close down Sadio Mane, and then when they do eventually put a challenge in, they win the ball. Mane goes to ground, so normally another defender should be there to clean up, just boot it away, but no one is there, and Mane gets straight back up, chips the ball to Mo Salah in a ton of space, who drilled the ball back across Joe Hart and into the back of the net. And that's how the game ended. A very comfortable win for Liverpool in the end, who are finally starting to look like a decent team again, with them winning all 3 of their games this past week, with Huddersfield last week, Maribor midweek, and now West Ham. And I remember saying in the stream on Saturday, Mo Salah might be the best buy of the season so far, and by that I mean people who've came in with a bit of hype behind them and have actually lived up to that. So that's going to be the poll this week. It's up in that top right corner. Who has been the best buy of the season? Salah will be in there, probably Kolasinac from Arsenal, maybe Morata, and possibly Lukaku, maybe Matic. I'll think about it. But with another loss this week, West Ham finally have got rid of Slaven Bilic, with them officially parting ways with the manager yesterday lunchtime. And it was coming, but apparently favourites to replace him it's David Moyes. Genuinely, West Ham, if you hire David Moyes, you deserve everything you get. But anyway, Liverpool picked up a very comfortable win and a well-deserved one as well. And we move on to Manchester City versus Arsenal. Manchester City took the lead in the 18th minute when Kevin De Bruyne gave the blue side of Manchester the lead. It actually started with Kevin De Bruyne, who took a shot from the edge of the box that was saved by Petr Cech, but only 10 seconds later the ball is back with Kevin De Bruyne, who played a 1-2 with Fernandinho, and at the end of it Kevin De Bruyne smacks a left-footed shot past Petr Cech from the corner of the box. And 5 minutes into the second half, Manchester City got the perfect chance to double their lead when they were given a penalty. It came with Nacho Monreal bundled over Raheem Sterling in the box, and the ref pointed to the spot, and I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans saying this wasn't a penalty. In my opinion, this was a stonewall penalty. Monreal just ran into Sterling for some reason. Monreal is completely in the wrong here. Definite penalty for me. Sergio Aguero stepped up to take the spot kick, and he extended his record as his penalty bounces off of the inside of the post and into the net. But Arsenal got one back 15 minutes later when Alexandre Lacazette got the goal despite not starting the game. Yeah, you heard that right. Arsenal pay £50 million for a striker and they don't start him in big games. Wenger has lost the fucking plot. But Lacazette came off of the bench and Alex Iwobi gave the ball to Aaron Ramsey. Ramsey picked out Lacazette, who got on the other side of Nicolas Otamendi. The Frenchman took a touch and smashed the ball through the legs of Ederson. But Manchester City restored their 2-goal lead in the 74th minute when Gabriel Jesus made it 3-1. This one shouldn't have stood, as this was offside, but still Arsenal just stopped, and don't give me that they knew it was offside and were expecting the whistle. The first thing you learn when playing football as a kid, play to the whistle. But it started when Alexis Sanchez gave the ball away in his own half, obviously thinking he plays for Man City, and that allowed City to attack in numbers. David Silva received the ball, he was offside, the officials didn't call it, and when Arsenal stopped dead, Silva played it back across goal, and waiting was Gabriel Jesus, who buried the chance. And that was how the game ended. Arsenal fans, it should have been 1-1 or something because the penalty wasn't a penalty, and the third goal was offside. The third goal was offside, I'll give you that, but like I said, the second one, definite penalty for me. But let's be honest, who actually expected Arsenal to come away with anything? Man City are well on their way to winning the title, and unless they have a massive dip in form, I honestly can't see anybody beating them. And we move on to Stoke versus Leicester. Leicester made the breakthrough in the 33rd minute when Vincent Iborra got his first goal for the Foxes. It started with Riyad Mahrez as he put a corner into the box that Harry Maguire ran onto and headed it towards goal. It was blocked, but it fell to the feet of Iborra, who smashed his shot past Jack Butland. But Stoke got to go back 5 minutes later when Xherdan Shaqiri put them level. It came when Eric Chouamani plays a first-time pass through to Shaqiri. He killed a beautiful shot into the back of the net by the post. And Leicester retook the lead in the 60th minute. It started with Ndidi gave the ball to Mahrez, and he does the rest as he's made his way down the right, drifts into the box, cuts inside of one defender, and drew a low shot past Jack Butland into the back of the net. But Stoke levelled the game up for the second time in the match when super sub Peter Crouch got the goal. He was on the pitch for about 5 minutes, and Leicester can't deal with his aerial threat as Xherdan Shaqiri put a corner into the box. He gets the better of Fuchs and thumped his header into the net. And that's the game ended with Peter Crouch coming off of the bench, rescuing a point for the home side. Leicester will be kicking themselves that they took the lead twice and failed to put this game to bed, whereas Stoke will be taking some positives from this game for always sticking with it and earning themselves a hard-fought point. And we move on to Chelsea versus Manchester United. Chelsea had the ball in the net only 5 minutes into the game, but it was quickly disallowed for some reason. It came when Azpilicueta put the ball in the box and Man United defender Phil Jones buried it into the top corner of his own net, but for some reason the referee from Manchester disallowed the goal because Morata allegedly pushed him in the back. No way in hell was that a foul. I've watched that back. No way on earth was that a foul. But Chelsea eventually took the lead in the 55th minute when Alvaro Morata got the goal. Just like the goal that was disallowed earlier, it was Azpilicueta putting a ball into the box for Morata, but this time it actually ends up with Morata. And Morata's header here is absolutely brilliant. He connects with it beautifully, looped it over David De Gea into the back of the net. And that's how the game ended. Another boring game against the big side for Manchester United, with them parking the bus against Liverpool, parking the bus against Tottenham, and they did park the bus against Chelsea, but Chelsea just tipped the bus over. Probably spray painted on it, I'm not sure. Romelu Lukaku was pretty much a non-entity in this game, with Manchester United only attacking after Chelsea scored, but this result has left United 8 points behind their City counterparts, and Chelsea after their win are just a point behind Man United. And we move on to Tottenham versus Crystal Palace. This game was pretty boring. You would expect Tottenham to absolutely batter Palace, but in reality, Palace did alright and really should have taken the lead earlier in the match. But one of these teams did take the lead in the 64th minute, and it was Tottenham through Son Heung-min. It came when Harry Kane found Danny Rose. Rose's shot was blocked and the ball ended up on the right hand side, where a pullback to the edge of the area to Son, and he hit it lovely, left footed shot straight into the top corner. And that's how the game ended. A very lacklustre display from Tottenham, who were far from their best. Maybe, I don't know, they're on a bit of a come down after beating Real midweek, but either way they really should have done better. Like I mentioned earlier, Palace had a great chance to take the lead and they should have taken it, but Palace are really going to need to look at a striker in January because of Wilfried Zaha, who was amazing in this match by the way. If he keeps performing like this, he won't be at Palace for much longer, as teams are inevitably going to come in for him. And we move on to Huddersfield versus West Brom. Huddersfield opened the scoring just before half-time when Van La Parra scored an absolute worldie. It started when Aaron Moy took a free kick quickly inside the Huddersfield half. Van La Parra has the ball about 35 yards out, and he curled the ball into the top corner past a motionless Ben Foster. But Huddersfield would have to play a majority of the second half with 10 men when Christopher Schindler was sent off. It was an unnecessary second yellow when he lunged in on Hegazi. The ref brandished the second yellow card. But as the game ended, Van La Parra's wonder strike was enough as 10-man Huddersfield held on to pick up 3 points. Huddersfield picking up a big win as they picked up back-to-back top-flight home wins for the first time since 1971. And we move on to Newcastle versus Bournemouth. It was 0-0 in the 90th minute, but Bournemouth had the better chances and they should have taken the lead earlier, but they did eventually take the lead when they stole the point in the 92nd minute. It came from a corner that Andrew Sermon whips in, and on the end of it was Steve Cook, who thumps his header past Rob Elliott. And that's how the game ended. Like I said, pretty boring one that we had to wait until literally the last chance of the game. Bournemouth did deserve the win. They should have opened the scoring earlier in the game, like I said, but in the end they did pick up the win in a very tight fought game. And we move on to Southampton versus Burnley. Just like the last game, this one was pretty dead until the final moments, as Burnley took the lead in the 80th minute through Sam Vokes. It came when Johan Gudmundsson looped across into the box, and it was met by Sam Vokes, who headers into the back of the net. And that is how the game ended. Substitute Sam Vokes' goal was enough for Burnley as they continue their rise up the table, with them currently sitting in 7th, level on points with Liverpool and Arsenal. Southampton were pushing in the final 5, but they couldn't find the goal they so desperately needed. And finally, we've got Swansea versus Brighton. Brighton took the lead in the 29th minute when Glenn Murray continued his goal-scoring form as he put the visitors ahead. It came when Anthony Knockout put a ball into the box from the right-hand side, and Glenn Murray was there. He didn't make great contact with it as it bounced off of his thigh, but it was enough as the ball trickled across the line. And as the game ended, Brighton's great run of form continues as they pick up another good win, whereas for Swansea, it was quite the opposite as they dropped into the relegation zone. Right, so that's all the games I've got for you this week. Before we go, let's take a look at the Premier League table and top goal scorers, starting off with the Premier League table. Start with the top 5, and as you can see, Manchester City are top after they overcame their biggest challenge of the season when they beat Arsenal. Manchester United is second after losing to Chelsea. Tottenham are third after narrowly beating Palace. Chelsea are fourth following their win over United, and Liverpool make up the top 5 after they convincingly beat West Ham. Moving on to the bottom 5, Crystal Palace are still at the bottom after they lost to Tottenham. Swansea are 19th after they were beat by Brighton. West Ham make up the bottom 3 after they lost to Liverpool. Bournemouth climb out the relegation zone after they picked up a win against Newcastle, and West Brom make up the bottom 5 after their loss to Huddersfield. Moving on to the top goal scorers, and as you can see, Sergio Aguero is on the top following his goal against Arsenal, put him on to 8 goals and 3 assists. Harry Kane is second, 8 goals and 1 assist. Alvaro Morata and Romelu Lukaku are both tied on 7 goals and 3 assists, and Raheem Sterling makes up the top 5 on 7 goals and 2 assists. Right, so that's all I've got for you this week. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be back in 2 weeks on the 21st of November for the next episode of the Premier League review. Yeah, no episode next week because of the international break. Also, I'm sorry if this episode is a bit shorter than others, but what else can I do when there were literally 6 games that ended 1-0? They didn't really give me much to work with this week. But anyway, if you want to follow us on Twitter to stay up to date when we upload a video or go live, you can. The link is in the description, or it's at portionofsport_. If you want to follow me on Twitter or subscribe to my personal YouTube channel, you can. The links to both of those are in the description as well. All my channels should be popping onto your screen round about now. But anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. I've been Mark from A Portion of Sport, and I'll see you soon.